Hi guys, in today's video, we're going to explore two ways in which we can boost WooCommerce conversions using Otter Blocks. And we'll begin by exploring the process of creating this sticky header, which you can use to promote a sale on your website. And it also includes a countdown timer block, which can improve conversions by invoking a sense of urgency and possibly prompting users to take action within a set time frame. And then we are going to explore some geo-targeting strategies, and we'll be creating different offers using Otter Blocks. And we'll be showing these offers to different users from different countries using Otter's visibility conditions function. So let's start with the first part of the video. So I'm in the editor on my homepage, and here I just want to go ahead and click on the plus to add Otter's section block. Now I also want to go ahead and choose a 2-column arrangement, and I'll open the list view to select the section block and move it all the way to the top. Now let's also make it full width, and let's align its content to the middle. Now we'll go to the Style tab on the right hand side to apply a background. So in Background and Content, we're just going to click on Background, and there we'll go ahead and apply a blue color. Next, we'll add Otter's countdown timer to our left column. Okay, now currently we have a random date. So on the right, we'll click on this September 7th button, and we'll just change the date to maybe the last day of August. And we can also change our time. So let's make this something like 4:15 p.m. And once it's set, we can go ahead and style it. So we'll go to our Style tab, and here we want to click on these 3 dots next to color. We'll turn on our border options. We'll click on border, and we'll just change the type from solid to none. Okay, that's good. Now let's go to dimensions, and we'll change the height to 50. We'll change the width to 50% as well. So that makes it a lot more compact. Next, we'll move on to the second column, and here we're going to add Otter's advanced heading block. We'll add our text, store-wide sale, save up to 50% until stocks last. You can also go ahead and add an appropriate tag to this depending on what you're trying to do. Maybe you want to use some code to customize your text, but we'll skip that part. Let's go to the Style tab to apply a different font size. I'm going to use XL, and this isn't centered, so in dimensions, we'll unlink our padding, and we'll apply about 25 pixels of top padding to our text block. We'll press enter, and now it may not be perfectly centered, but it looks better. And we'll also customize the text for our timer, so let's go ahead and click on it. And we'll move over to the right to access its settings in the Style tab. We're going to go to typography and set the font label size to medium. Maybe that's a bit too big, so let's add a custom size of 14 pixels. Okay, this is EM, let's change it to pixels. All right, I think that looks better. All right, now we can save our changes and view it in an incognito window once it's saved. So this is what our header currently looks like, and this is not good, so we need to go back and make a few more changes. Let's click on our header section, and over on the right, we need to find Block Tools. It's in the Settings tab. So in Block Tools, we'll turn on Transform to Sticky. So in the Sticky tab, we're going to set Sticky to Screen, which is default, and we want to enable Float Mode. We'll keep the default width. Now the side offset is set to 20. We want to remove that and change it to 0. And I'm also going to prevent header obstruction. Now we can add a space above the header of about 100 pixels for this, and you'll see once we scroll this changes to 99, but that's fine. The position is top, and we also want to set our offset to 0. Now if you want to, you can also enable this on mobile by toggling this switch, and we'll go ahead and save our changes to see how this looks. Now once it's saved, once again, let's preview our changes in a new incognito window. Alright, so now we can see our full width sticky header at the top with our countdown timer. Now we'll also need to make a small but powerful tweak to this, but I want to quickly point out a small detail first. We'll open our site in a regular window, and right now we want to go to our customizer. And I just want to show you that there's some custom CSS that I added to ensure that the header took up the entire width of the screen. So if you look on the right, there is currently no gap because of this code. If I were to remove this line, for example, I'll delete this line, and now you'll see that there's a small gap in our header. Now if I undo the deletion, you'll see that the gap is no longer present. So I'll be leaving this piece of code for you in the description down below. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and publish this page so that we can move on. Now the next thing we need to do is make this entire header disappear when the timer runs out. So we'll jump back to our editor, and with the header section selected, we'll go to visibility conditions. Now before we configure this, I just want to double check the end time, and in settings we can see that it's 4:15. So I just want to select the section one more time, and in visibility conditions, let's add a rule group. Now we'll click on the drop down to add a new rule, and we'll set our condition to date range. We'll set our start date to be the 31st. We'll keep the current start time, and we'll set the end date to be the 31st as well, but the end time will be 4:15. Now we'll go ahead and save our settings, and we'll go ahead and preview our changes in a new incognito window. So we have successfully implemented our sticky header, and our countdown timer is currently at about 50 seconds. And I'm going to speed up the video until the time expires, and once it's expired, I'll reload the page and we'll see that it's now gone. Okay, so this is something you could implement on your website in order to improve conversions. Alright, so in the second part of this video, we're going to explore Otter's geolocation features, which can be used for marketing and sales. So in our WordPress dashboard, we'll go to Otter Blocks because you'll need to add an API key to use Otter's geolocation feature. So once we're in Otter's dashboard, we'll go to the integration tab. We'll click on IP Hub API key. And right away, we're seeing that this is a pro feature. We can click on Get API key, and we'll be taken to the IP Hub website where we can subscribe to one of their plans, or we can simply apply for a free plan. In my case, I already have this set up, so I'm just going to jump right into the tutorial. All right, so on this page, I have 3 different pop-ups, and each of them have different offers. There's one for the USA, one for the UK, and one for the rest of the world. We can go ahead and see what it looks like right now before doing anything. So right now, this page displays all 3 pop-ups. So we need to go ahead and target each one to their respective regions. So let's start with the first one, which is USA. I'm going to click on it and I'll move over to the right-hand side to access its block settings. We'll go to visibility conditions and we'll add a new rule group. And next, we'll need to select a condition. So in the drop-down menu, we'll scroll down to find country. Next, I'm going to type in the US country code in the field below. And as long as the option at the bottom is set to visible, our block will only be shown to users with the US IP address. We can click on this link to view a list of all available country codes, so you can just scroll to find the one you need. Alright, so now we are done with the first pop-up, so we can move on to the next one, which is Great Britain. So I'm going to select it and I'll move back to the right to access visibility conditions. So again, for this one, we're going to add a rule group, and then we'll add a country condition. And this time, the country code we're going to use is GB, and that stands for Great Britain. And once again, we can keep this option as visible. Okay, so since we're finished with this one, we can move on to the final pop-up, which is for any other country that we have not specified. So for the final time, we're going to go to visibility conditions on the right. We're going to add a rule group. We're going to add a country condition. And this time, the first thing I'm going to do is change this option from visible to hidden. And I'm going to add the US and Great Britain country codes to this field, so no one with IP addresses from these countries can see this offer, but it should be available to users with IP addresses from any other country. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is save this, and then we're going to go ahead and test it out by setting our VPN to different locations. So let's open our website in a new incognito window, and once it opens, we should see our first pop-up. This is the one for the other countries, and that's because our VPN is set to Canada. And now watch what happens when we switch our location to Australia. We just need to wait a few seconds for the all clear in this app. And in case you're wondering, this is called Clear VPN. Okay, so we have the all clear. Let's go ahead and see what happens. If I go back to the site, click out and refresh the page. And once it loads, we should see the same pop-up because our location is set to Australia and not the US or UK. So once again, we're going to go back to our VPN and change our location. And this time is going to be the United Kingdom. So once again, we're going to go back to our website and refresh to see what happens. And this time we have the pop-up with our UK offer. They can save 40%. This time we'll go ahead and perform our final test. And this time is for the United States. Once we're on the site, we're going to refresh. And after waiting for 1 second, we should see our pop-up with a unique offer for our US audience. Alright, so this is how you can use Otter Blocks to improve your marketing conversions. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and leave a comment letting us know if you'd like to see part 2 of this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.